up on the mountainside. Coffee's hot and the truth won't hide. Pull up a chair, let the morning roll. It's time again for the Hillbilly Show. The back rows out through the courthouse square. We talk real life and the folks who care. No fancy script, no polished flow. Just plain old truth on the Hillbilly Show.
Good morning, everybody, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate everything you're doing, viewing all these views. It's unbelievable. We got some big news coming out in the next day or so about some other things happening. So I want to just get in contact. So stay in touch with us, and we're going to keep moving forward. And like I said, good morning, folks, and welcome back to Coffee with the Hillbilly, right here on the Independent Pen. Grab yourself a strong cup of coffee, pull up a chair, and let's talk straight. This is the Marietta Broadcasting Network, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. No sugarcoating today. We're driving into something hard. We're driving into something hard truth happening right here in Fayette County. As Christians, we don't get to stay silent when darkness is running loose. Ephesians 11 tells us, and it tells us very straight, have nothing to do with fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. We're called to be the light in the darkness, not comfortable spectators. Fayette Penn Economic Development Council has been operating as a shadow government in Fayette County for years. This unelected body controls millions in taxpayer dollars and pulls the strings behind the scenes on development, grants, and big projects. Commissioners Scott Dunn and Vince Facilities signed NDAs with them, promising to keep secrets from the very people who elected them. That alone should make your blood boil. Let's not forget, Fayette Penn has to settle a lawsuit over questionable handling of money. Your money. This isn't some private club's cash. This is taxpayer money from hardworking families across Fayette County, Pennsylvania. Yet, they treat it like their personal piggy bank for pet projects and insider deals. Speaking of taxes, these same commissioners just ramped through a 25% property tax increase not too long ago. We all remember it. We begged them, please don't do this. Please figure out some other way. But they did it anyways. While families are struggling to pay their bills and put food on the table, there's still plenty of money for their pet projects. Yeah, look around and you'll see them all. The big data center they're pushing, it looks like nothing more than a fancy way to funnel even more public money back into their network through hidden LLCs, insiders, and donations tied to Fayette Penn. This is immoral perpetuity. The same corrupt pattern repeating over and over while regular folks get squeezed. And it ain't just the commissioners. There's a cozy little conspiracy with certain officers helping keep this whole thing going for the connected few. Let's let it sink in a little bit. There's a cozy little conspiracy with certain elected officers helping keep this whole thing going for the connected few. Meanwhile, the county employees who actually do the real work are getting absolutely exploited. Their contract was up in November, but they've been willing to keep working under the previous terms. They have earned their vacation pay and time off because of the work they've done under that contract. Now leadership is trying to weasel out of honoring the retro pay benefits they're owed. Their healthcare costs went up so much that it ate up any raise they were supposed to get. In fact, it put them in a negative. These workers are actually going backwards, like I just said, instead of forward. Trying to block people from taking vacations they already earned. That's not management. That's an atrocity. Remember that word, because one of our elected officials used it against me. They said I was an atrocity. They actually put a text message out and put emails out saying that I was the atrocity. I was the problem in the county. Nah, that ain't true. Commissioners Dunn and Vasides like to call themselves union men and pro-worker. Their actions show something completely different. The Bible is clear about this. James 4 says, the unpaid wages of workers cry out to God. Proverbs 29:2 warns that when the wicked rule, the people groan. And Micah 6:8 tells us what God expects to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. This isn't politics. This is right versus wrong. This is moral failure in leadership. Pennsylvania Right to Know gives us the tools to fight back. Follow those requests. Demand to see the budgets, the contracts, the LLC connections, the FAPEN transactions, the data center incentives, and every single dollar that's flowed through this system. This is your money. You have every right to see where it's going. We must stand up, expose the darkness, even if we have to stand alone. One person with the truth is more dangerous to corruption than a room full of suits hiding behind NDAs and excuses. Remember what I'm saying about these NDAs. Remember that. Scott Dunn, Vince Facilities signed NDAs, and so did Pat Stefano. So they wouldn't have to expose the truth of what was going on. As Billy Graham once said, courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened. The Lord sees what's happening. He hears the cries of the county workers, and he's watching how we respond right now in Fayette County. It's time to stop groaning and start shining the light. Hold them accountable, the commissioners, the officers, and especially the shadow government of FAPEN. This is Hillbilly John saying, stay strong, stay bold, stay prayerful, and demand transparency. Your tax dollars, your county, and it is your fight. If you got tips, documents, or just want to stand with us, reach out to the Independent Pen. Share these episodes. File those right to know requests. Let's make some noise for what's right. One more time. Let's make some noise for what is right. This isn't political. It's what's right. Thanks for joining me for this Coffee with the Hillbilly. Hard truth. I'll see you next time. And remember, stand even if you have to stand alone at first. Courage is contagious.